Welcome to the FastAPI Beginners Guide, 13 lessons that take you from your first route to a shipped REST API. Here's the core idea. Flask made Python web simple back in 2010. FastAPI in 2026 makes it correct. You type hint a function, and you get a validated endpoint, a typed response, and open API docs for free. No serializers, no middleware ceremony. By Lesson 12, you'll have a production-grade cart API built on every concept we cover. So why has FastAPI become the default? 3 reasons, each measurable. First, type hints are validation. Pydantic reads your annotations, parses incoming JSON, and returns a 422 with clear errors when something's off. The function signature is the contract. Second, Async is native. One worker handles thousands of concurrent connections, database calls, external APIs, file I/O, no thread pool gymnastics. And third, dependency injection and open API ship in the box. Depends makes testing trivial, and docs gives you Swagger UI for free. Here's how we get there. 12 lessons in 4 tiers, plus a capstone. Foundations covers your first endpoint and Pydantic models. No magic, just the basics. Daily adds path params, full CRUD, and response models. Advanced brings dependency injection, SQLModel, and JWT auth. Professional gets you async, background tasks, tests, and Docker. And Lesson 12 is the payoff. You'll refactor the OOP cart from the prerequisite series into a full-stack production REST API. Let's zoom in on that capstone. Your OOP cart gets a real backend. FastAPI routers for items, checkout, and auth, SQLModel hitting Postgres, JWT with OAuth 2 password flow, a Stripe webhook, and a multi-stage Docker image around 80 megabytes. Tests run against an async HTTPX client, the whole stack spins up with Docker Compose, and your API is live at /docs. This is the kind of project freelancers charge 5,000 euros to build. Before we go further, let's check the gear you'll need. 4 things are essential: Python 3.10 or newer, so we can use modern union syntax and built-in generics. Comfort writing functions with type hints, daily fluency with dicts and lists, and a terminal where you can run pip or UV. OOP fundamentals and HTTP basics help, but they're not blockers. And notice what's missing. No Flask, no Django, no async wizardry, no DevOps scars. We bridge each gap as it shows up. If you came from the OOP series, here's some good news. You already know FastAPI's patterns, just at a different layer. Classes become Pydantic models for requests and responses. Composition becomes depends injection, where a cart has a database session. Duck typing becomes test client with depends overrides for mocking. Data class plus protocol becomes SQLModel. Strategy and adapter show up as pluggable middleware and session adapters. Same patterns, different layer. Your OOP knowledge ports across 1-to-1. So which tools are we actually composing? 6 of them, orchestrated by FastAPI itself. The framework gives you routing, dependency injection, and free open API docs. Pydantic v2 turns your type hints into validated request and response models, with a Rust core doing the heavy lifting. SQLModel fuses Pydantic and SQL alchemy, so your database rows and API schemas stay in sync. Then Jose and Passlib handle JWT and BCrypt for auth, PyTest with HTTPX covers sync and async testing, and UVcorn plus Docker ship it. That's the whole stack. Now let's talk time. Honestly, each lesson runs about 75 to 105 minutes if you actually code along. And coding along is where the real value lives, not passive watching. Across 11 lessons plus the capstone, you're looking at 20 to 28 hours total, roughly 3 or 4 weekends. Sprint it in a week at 3 hours a day, or pace it steady at 1 hour a day for a month, your call. And how you spend that time is up to you. Reference mode is 5 hours of skimming the decks. You walk away with the mental model and reach for the cheat sheets when something breaks at work. Course mode is the full build. Every lesson, all 33 exercises, the L12 capstone, and a working REST API in your portfolio. Workshop mode splits it across 2 days for an engineering team. Lessons 1 through 6 on day 1, 7 through 12 on day 2, with hands-on labs you can tailor to your own domain. Now, a quick reality check on what this series is not. We assume Python basics, so variables and imports are on you. We don't build a front end. That connects through the OpenAPI client. We won't compare Django or Flask, won't dive into microservices, Asyncio internals, or Kubernetes. Lesson 10 touches Async. Lesson 11 ships a Docker container. But the deep DevOps and distributed systems territory is its own discipline. Honest scope, so you can plan beyond the series. So here's the concrete payoff. Across lessons 1 through 6, you'll build a full REST API with type-safe verbs. Pydantic gives you 422 validation for free, Depends wires up clean dependency injection, SQLModel persists to Postgres, and OAuth 2 with JWT handles auth. Then async tasks in Lesson 10, PyTest with HTTPX hitting 90% coverage, Docker in Lesson 11, and by Lesson 12, the OOP cart ships as a real production-grade API. Every skill maps to a lesson, and every lesson maps to lines in the capstone codebase. You know the map. 13 lessons, 5 sections, 1 capstone, 0 magic, just type hints doing real work. Spin up a venv, install FastAPI standard, and meet me in Lesson 01, where we answer why FastAPI and write the first endpoint. Type hints become an API. Let's go build it.